Hold up, why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bet.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the Miscellaneous Minds Podcast. I'm your host, Jesus Dinero, here with my co-host,
Puma El Gato.
What do we got going on tonight, my man?
It's UFC 313, Alex Periera versus Magomed Ankalaev. Let's talk about it.
So, we had previously done a video on our initial thoughts behind Alex Periera and Magomed Ankalaev, kind of giving you guys a little bit of a preview before the fight came up. It's 5 weeks, so we got to give you our final review. And I actually thought a lot of you brought up a lot of good points in those comments that you guys brought up, because there was quite a few of you that basically told me that I was tripping, and I'm just here to say this. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. And listen, I'm not saying Alex Periera is not going to win. In fact, if you guys go back to that video, you'll see I've said I want Alex Periera to win. I like Alex Periera. Over the two between him and Magomed Ankalaev, I like Alex Periera way more. So I really do hope that Alex wins. However, I do have to be unbiased when I'm doing this take here. That being said, let's take a look at it. Yes, Magomed Ankalaev is not a supreme wrestler by any means, but he does have enough wrestling to make me think that he could potentially use a lot of that against Alex Periera. And the mere fact that the odds had Alex Periera as a favorite for a while, to be fair, he's still technically the favorite, but I mean, it's a lot more even now, was proving my point, even though y'all were telling me that I was tripping. So let's kind of analyze that a little bit. So when it comes to the stand-up game, I would be an idiot to tell you that Alex Periera doesn't have the clear advantage there. He does. He clearly does. I think it's funny because Ankalaev has made a number of comments where he's basically said that he's going to stay on the feet with Alex Periera. And if he does, I agree with y'all. Alex Periera is absolutely going to win. However, what I believe is more than likely going to be true is that he's going to talk a big game, Ankalaev, and then eventually he's going to take it down to wrestling, because we all know, obviously, that is Alex Pereira's weakness. But if it gets kept on the feet, I agree with y'all. Alex Periera is going to win, especially because I had gone back and watched a couple fights with Ankalaev, specifically the one that he had up against, I can't remember, it wasn't against Yuri, it was against, who's that dude, Beard, I can't remember I can't remember his name.
Jan Blachowicz.
Jan Blachowicz. There you go. Thank you. I watched a fight against him and Jan Blachowicz, and there was a couple things that Jan Blachowicz did in that match that made me see, you know what, there's a particular weak area for Ankalaev, and that is his legs. If you guys know and watch Alex Periera is known to be one of the deadliest, if not the deadliest kicker when it comes to those calf kicks. And I'll be honest with you, when it comes to that game, Ankalaev is extremely weak. Hell, Jan was actually the one that was giving Ankalaev a run for his money in that match. And there was a couple times where you saw Ankalaev was visibly hurt. So in that case, I truly believe that if Alex Periera uses those, which he does all the time, and Ankalaev keeps it on the feet, it's over. I'll give it 1 or 2 rounds at best, because it looks like, based on the kicks that Jan Blachowicz was giving to Ankalaev, those knees are a little wobbly. Those legs are a little wobbly. And again, even Izzy has said, man, the way that Alex throws them calf kicks is insane. It's like the man has like an additional bone in that leg that makes him hurt extra. So I agree with y'all. If the man keeps it on the feet, it will absolutely be a shutout performance for Alex Periera with a knockout, I'll say, second or third round at best. Now, once I believe once Ankalaev starts to feel some of that power, specifically in the legs, I feel like he's going to immediately think to himself, damn, might want to take this to the ground. And that's where I believe he's going to smother and hold Alex Periera until the very end. Now, one thing that was concerning me for a little bit as far as Alex Periera, we all saw that obviously he cornered for Sean Strickland there 2 weeks basically before his fight. We all saw that he was still out in Australia having a good old time with his boys, having a good old time with a bunch of people, attending the Drake concert, so on and so forth. That worried me a little bit, again, just because it was so close to fight night. Again, Alex was saying that they were still locking in, they were still getting some training in and all that good stuff, but that worried me a little bit. On the other hand, as you guys all know, we are in the middle of Ramadan, started on Friday, I believe, and because of that, Ankalaev is basically fasting all these days, which, don't get me wrong, I understand that the last week before the fight, you're, kind of cutting weight anyway, so maybe it'll just go, hand in hand, so it's hand in hand, with the weight cut that Magomed was going to do anyways. Maybe it won't affect him at all, but you got to admit, it might be a little bit of a factor. That being said, listen, I told you guys at the beginning of this little monologue that I went on, I want Alex to win. I'm going to pick Alex to win by third round knockout. That being said, I'm telling you guys right now, I truly believe that at a certain point, Ankalaev is going to understand why Alex Periera is a different beast, and because of that, he's going to take it to the ground. And mark my words, if that happens, unfortunately, it'll be a boring fight, but Ankalaev will take the fight. What do you think about that, my man?
There's actually one interesting point. I don't, like, personally, I'm not in the belief of outside factors being much of a factor in this fight. Okay, first and foremost, I do understand that, yeah, there is a Drake curse, and yes, I understand that Alex Periera is actually going to be front and center on the what was it, I know UFC 5 does like seasonal cover athletes, and Alex Periera actually is gonna be on the face of that, and everybody knows it from Madden to FIFA to even the UFC. Anybody that's gonna be on the front cover has a little bit of a curse on their side, and of course we can't ignore the fact that Drake also has a habit of actually betting on the wrong horse, and he actually bet on Alex Periera making this shot. So I understand there's going to be a lot of people worried about that. But again, a curse is a curse. Not every single time that Drake bets on somebody, they lose, although I do kind of want that to happen. Another Drake L is a big W for me, but not in this case. But again, that's some superstitious stuff. I understand the point that people made about Magomed Ankalaev also being on Ramadan. I do, however, want to point out whether or not the gas tank was going to be an issue for Ankalaev. Believe it or not, it's actually not been a problem in the past. He's actually fought two people while he was observing Ramadan in Thiago Santos and Paul Craig, and both times, believe it or not, he actually went the distance. Granted, he might have lost against Paul Craig, but we're not discussing whether or not he can win in Ramadan, just the fact that he can go the distance. And the fact that he gone the distance twice on Ramadan, at the very least, gives me a little bit of credence that Ramadan isn't going to be that much of an outside issue as people make it out to be. Again, the number one thing I want to focus on it being a big issue or not is whether or not Magomed Ankalaev is going to focus on his wrestling. And again, if he does focus on his wrestling, and even Michael Bisping has told him, you're an idiot if you don't focus on the wrestling. Why would you want to forsake the one thing that's going to guarantee you a victory in favor of, oh, I beat Alex Periera at his own game? Dog, if you're going to be a matador, at least be a credible one. This is going to be a very much a Bilal Muhammad situation where it's not about looking good, it's about winning. And at the end of the day, as much as anybody wants to go against it, that is your job. Your job isn't to look good. If you can look good, cool. That's not your job. Your job is to literally win the gold. And the gold is on the line here. Why would you want to forsake that? Again, I should hope that Magomed Ankalaev isn't going to be stupid about this. Hopefully that's at the very least some bravado trying to sell the fight, or at the very least some mind games on part of Ankalaev to try and fake prepare Alex Periera for a situation that isn't going to happen when actual fight night happens. I do think Ankalaev is actually going to start to rely on his wrestling. Again, I do think what you proposed earlier about maybe going striking only in the first round, and then once he realizes the power, I think he's going to go back to that wrestling. And I do think that is the most realistic possibility if that's going to happen. Magomed Ankalaev is going to rely on his wrestling the more further the fight goes on. And I do think at that point, it's going to, personally to me, I think, unfortunately, as much as I love Alex Periera, this is going to go Ankalaev's way.
Fair enough, my man. Fair enough. Listen, either way, it'll be a great fight. We'll see. Again, if I were a betting man, I would put my money on Alex because he has been winning. But I'm telling you right now, the reason I said it in the previous video we did, is because I truly believe that Magomed is definitely going to enforce the wrestling as time goes on in the match. Maybe second, definitely third and on. And because of that, listen, Magomed has a lot of bravado. He does. He when he said that he's going to go toe-to-toe, I thought, okay, well, that's stupid. But I think once the reality of the situation kicks in, I think wrestling's going to be his fortune. Again, when I was watching that match between him and Jan Blachowicz, it was weird how much the leg kicks affected Magomed, they affected him quite a bit, like to the point where he visibly was wincing and, holding his leg in pain and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, again, no disrespect to Jan Blachowicz, but when it comes to the calf kicks, he's no Alex Periera. So I think once that kind of sets in, I think he's definitely going to start to put in that wrestling a little bit more. Will it come before Alex does too much damage to the legs? Because even if he does wrestling, keep in mind, he still needs his legs. He still needs his legs to be able to, hold certain positions, to, move past certain positions, so on and so forth. So will it come before he does, before Alex does too much damage to the legs? We won't know. We won't know. But listen, the reality of the circumstances is if Magomed stands toe to toe, big mistake for him. I think he wants to be the champ. I think he believes he should have been champion when he fought up against Jan Blachowicz. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but it'll be an interesting fight. It'll be a great fight. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and we'll see between y'all, the ones that were talking a whole bunch on the comments in the previous video. We'll see, because I'm definitely gonna come back at y'all. And listen, if y'all all right, I'll eat my humble pie. I'm not even tripping about it. Anything else you want to add to that, my man?
That's it out of me.
With that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you on the next one.